Well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Wa2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. So the Major League Baseball season, the real Major League Baseball season, starts in just about a week from right now. I know the Dodgers and Cubs open the season in Japan to basically no fanfare, but that just shows you how messed up the people who run Major League Baseball are at times. But as a Mets fan, it seems like a lot of Met fans, there are a lot of fans who have a lot of hope for the season, but there still seems to be that group of Met fans who have been burned so many times that they're just looking for something to be worried about, to be nervous about, because it's almost like we don't want to let our hopes get too high at the risk of having them be dashed. But there is one very valid criticism of this team, and that is the starting pitching. While there's a lot of options, it doesn't really have that go-to horse. Now, it's very, very difficult nowadays in Major League Baseball to find a true ace pitcher. They're more and more rare. Pitchers don't really throw complete games anymore. They often don't even throw 32 starts a year at this point. And it seems like these teams, in the interest of load management or arm preservation, they try to manage the load for their starting pitchers while having no problem and seemingly burning out the bullpen. It makes no sense to me, but that's the way it is. But there are a few exceptions to that rule, and one of those really well-acknowledged aces, I think one of the best pitchers in baseball over the last few years, could become available on the open market for a trade, and I'm talking about Sandy Alcantara from the Miami Marlins. Now, he's 29 years old, won the Cy Young Award in 2022 in the National League. That year, he pitched 6 complete games. That is unheard of nowadays. That's like a career for some of these young kids. Pitched 228 innings, record of 14 wins, 9 losses, 207 strikeouts, 50 walks. Now he's back from Tommy John surgery, which cost him all of 2024. Now, I don't think this trade is out there to have right now. Okay, I think Miami is going to wait till he reestablishes himself, proves that he is the same pitcher that he was at one time, and then I think they would be open to trading him towards the trade deadline on July 31st. But I look at the Mets rotation, and what are we really talking about? Seanmanaea just got a new contract from the Mets, had a breakout season last year, but he's starting the season on the injured list. David Peterson, after basically man, there was barely a Mets fan who hadn't ripped David Peterson at some point, but after having his hip surgery, 2024 was an excellent year. Kodaisenga, when he's right, he can pitch to the level of a top starting pitcher. The problem is you have to handle him so delicately. He's had shoulder injuries, tricep injuries, calf injuries, and he had one start in the regular season in 2024. So not only that, we already know he's not going to pitch till the 5th game of the year against Miami. So he's not even pitching that first series against Houston. Kodaisenga, God bless him. I love his talent. I love his ability, but he's like an NBA superstar. His load has to be managed, constantly. And then you look at other guys like Paul Blackburn, Griffincanning, Tyler McGill, these types of guys. The Mets really need that go-to pitcher. And I think Alcantara could be that pitcher. Now, his contract, he's under contract for 3 years. 2025, $17.3 million. 2026, $17.3 million. 2027, there is a club option for $21 million. And like I said, he's 29, so he's not even going to hit free agency until he turns 32. So I think if whoever trades for him, Alcantara might be interested in negotiating an extension now, while before he hits 30 years old, rather later on when he hits the market at 32 years old. That's not always the best time for a starting pitcher to be negotiating a contract. And the Marlins, they've made trades in this division before. Look at JT Realmuto as a somewhat recent example. I think Alcantara would be a great fit for the Mets. If I had to give you one team to watch that might be really tough competition that would also want Alcantara, I'd look out for the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox have several starting pitchers who are going to begin the season on the IL. Lucas Giolito, Cutter Crawford, Brian Bello. Meanwhile, their big imports, Walker Buehler and Garrett Crochet, they're not exactly known for being durable. They've dealt with a lot of injury issues as well. And the Red Sox have probably the best farm system in baseball. Mets have about a top 10 to 12 prospect list at this point. So my concern is the Red Sox are not only in the American League, which I think would be more palatable for the Marlins, but their prospects are a little bit better thought of than the Mets prospects. They might be able to give Miami what they're really looking for in a trade. But as the year goes on, if the Mets have that dominant lineup that a lot of people think they will have, I think they also have a deep bullpen. I think their defense, for the most part, will be good, but the starting pitching remains a question, and I think Alcantara would be towards the top of their wish list. Is Miami willing to bite? It's something worth monitoring. But let me know your thoughts. Do you want to see the Mets trade for Alcantara? Do you have another starting pitcher in mind? Let me know. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I will see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.